Okay, welcome back to a new video. In this one, I'm going to go over my entire three-stage content GPS system that will win over ready-to-change clients in 10 times less time than if you were to use just traditional, boring fitness coach clone methods, right? This is going to allow you to have premium clients knocking at your door without relying on outdated chase sort of dynamics or leaving a burning hole in your wallet with ads, okay? 90% profit margins, organic mastery for building what I like to call an attractive fitness brand in 2025. Now, let's get straight into it, okay? Most fitness coaches are stuck in what I like to call the chaos of chase, right? Either desperately fighting their way to respectable income through more content, more DMs, more free challenges, or, just being burnt by ads, right? You know how it is. All these ad gurus convincing you that their system is the best on the market, the easiest, the fastest, and the best. And it's all bullshit, to be honest. So, spoiler alert, right? Ads are not the simple on off switch that they claim it is. So, just be careful if you haven't already been burnt, right? Now, it's an endless treadmill of hustle posting every single day, right? Hoping something clicks. You're still struggling to get clients. Now, I've helped so many great coaches, escape this rut. I see it time and time again. People who are great at helping people, but when it comes to actually getting clients through the door, they just find themselves stuck hitting that ceiling and not quite knowing where to go. So here's the thing you need to understand about content is, it doesn't just work because you post it. Content works when you're positioned to attract clients. Now, you'll never rise above that if you're constantly trying to chase them. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that so you can change the course of your business forever. Now, this is the same content system that I've used to help so many fitness coaches get to 10K per month in their business in a matter of months. Even those who have started with zero clients or who are a complete beginner with no coaching experience. And this is all without sending a single cold DM or spending a dime on ads. Now, once you understand the psychology and the leverage of how this all works, you'll never have to stress about content ever again. So let's dive straight in. Why do traditional content strategies fail, right? And how I discovered the missing link. Now, the trap I see is 99% of fitness coaches, they fall into this trap, right? Which honestly is, I think the fact it's still an issue in 2025, it kind of baffles me, to be honest. With the amount of market sophistication that exists in the industry, aka, how many fitness coaches there are and how long it's been around for. Okay, the market changes and it gets more sophisticated over time. Now, they either post non-stop without a strategy, right? Hoping something clicks. They try to one up the algorithm with trends or copying like fitness creators, the same ones who aren't making any money. Because trust me, I've spoken to a lot of them and it's a big problem. Or you fall into C, right, which is just spamming your audience with tricks, tips, tutorials, all this shit that can be Googled in a matter of seconds and it's not valuable at all. Now, what happens? They end up getting engagement, but no leads. People like them as a person, but that's all that drives, all they're focused on is likes and follows, which doesn't run a business. They burn out from posting nonstop, or worse, they attract the wrong people who, freebie seekers, skeptics, or just broke sort of friend followers who like them as a person. But when it comes to actually, handing money over, they have every excuse under the sun and they're gone in a flash. Now, that's even the case if you have a low ticket affordable offer as well. And then you wonder why you're frustrated because you're trying to be affordable, you're selling low ticket and you're still not getting sales. So then it's like, where do you go from there? You can't up your prices because you're not getting sales. So, you need to take a step back and make a significant change in your business. Now, I know all this well, like far too well, right? I made all these mistakes myself in my own fitness coaching business. But I also have the data from personally talking to over 500 coaches as well. So no matter how much content people post, they're still being ghosted by leads or they're stuck on calls with people who, can't afford their offer. But let's be honest, that's a smokescreen. Most of the time, people have the money. They're on a call for a reason. But when it comes to your offer, it's not valuable not enough. They're not bought in enough. It's not unique enough, right? So they're not willing to hand over their money. And this is despite the market being flooded with business gurus, and the market is still desperate for a solution. So, what does that say about the market, right? Now, the number one psychological trigger that no one is talking about is positioning, right? So, and, I'm kind of blowing my identity here, right? I'm meant to be a little business guru. I should be saying, test more ads, bro. Just send more DMs, bro. Just keep on posting more content. You only need X amount of DMs or ad spend to gain a client. Just keep going. This is just complete bullshit, and I just don't agree with it at all, right? The industry is a fucking joke sometimes, and that's when I kind of realized something, that none of this shit matters if your positioning is fucked. You can't just keep pouring fuel into a broken engine. If it doesn't work, you're not going to go anywhere. So the way you structure your content determines whether you attract high-paying clients or you just get ignored and no one buys your stuff. It's as simple as that. And if you're not catering to a specific market demand, then it's like trying to sell water to a fish, which is where 99% of fitness coaches land in the industry, because they're all just copying each other. They're all just the same. And, it gets to a point where it's just not valuable anymore. So here's the 3-stage content GPS ecosystem, right? Which is engineered to attract dream clients, funnel them towards life-changing results, right? Which is your coaching. Now, let me walk you through the entire machine at a high level so you can understand each moving part and the role it plays in turning your fitness business into an attractor brand full of inbound leads, right, without needing a massive audience or chasing people all day. So here's the high level overview. This is a system I created. So obviously this is not in the typical funnel format, but you can see how it's a machine. And when the leads come in, they don't leave this ecosystem until they've become a client. So you've got a few different stages here. You've got the top of funnel, right, which is where you're attracting new eyeballs. You've got the middle of funnel, which you're nurturing the people in your audience. Then you've got the bottom of funnel stuff that actually converts them into a client and, generates booked calls. So let's dive into each section and I'll walk you through the importance and why it's important. Okay. So stage 1, top of funnel. This is where you're attracting, new eyeballs to your page, building awareness around your methodology, your philosophies, and you're aligning beliefs with these people, right? So that they can become one of your clients. Now, the most coaches think that short form content is about going viral, but going viral means nothing if it doesn't lead to sales. This is what I like to call, broke influencer syndrome. You get all these people who have loads of followers, loads of likes, loads of engagement, but they're making no money, right? So there's a bit of a disconnect there. And that's not how you should be running your page if you want to make money. So this is the last thing you want. Unless you like a big headache, right? All these people who aren't a good fit and you're trying to process them, win them over, and it's just not quite aligning, then, it is going to be a big headache and it's something you need to avoid. What you actually want is a small tribe of loyal, engaged buyers who are fully aligned with your offer and brand. And this is much, much better for business. So the real purpose of the top of funnel, right, if you're a profile that is dedicated to making money, is, you want to avoid, entertainment or treating your profile like a personal blog. That isn't going to convert people into clients. It's about education, but education in the right way. So your goal is to shift beliefs and position yourself as the expert, not just to get likes. What you'll find is the content that tends to get a lot of likes is never the content that actually converts people into clients. So you're kind of fighting 2 different battles, and you've got 2 different goals. If you're focusing on going viral, that's not going to equate to sales. I'm sorry to tell you. So in fact, the content that actually gets sales is often very boring, and it's boring to anyone who isn't an ideal client. And that's the point. If your messaging is very broad, right, that goes viral, yeah, this is going to talk to a lot of people, but they're never going to hand money over to you. That's just the way it is. So for these people who you want into your coaching program, these ideal clients, you need to give them a series of light bulb moments and epiphanies relentlessly. And you need to marinate that energy with relatable evidence that supports the transformation that you're trying to sell them. So, and if you do this well, then you're literally flying to the moon. You'll have no problem getting sales. But we'll talk more about that soon. Now, the 3 types of top of funnel content that work best, you've got belief shifting content, right? This challenges the current mindset around, the transformation and why they're not there in the first place. Okay. Authority content, right? This shows why you are the best guide for them and why you're the best person in the market to get them to their specific outcome. Then you've got the value content, which a lot of people tend to focus on, but they do it in the wrong way, right? This helps your audience move forward and displays your competence in your methodology around getting them to the transformation. It's not about posting shitty tips and tricks, how to do a squat. Oh, this exercise is better than that exercise. That's just so surface level, and it doesn't actually position you as an expert around the specific desires that they want. You should be focusing on one transformation, right? Literally the thing that people are paying you money for, the result. And you need to be able to break this down into the most important elements and systems that will guarantee someone's success. And you need to coin this, you need to make it yours, right? This is going to make you stand out in the market from everyone else who's just posting about, they're just promoting their training plan, their nutrition plan, check-ins, all this shit that no one cares about that is no different to anyone else in the market. But here's your new mindset, okay? You need to be the best solution on the market. You need to be proud of it, and you need to be passionate about it, and it needs to be yours. It needs to be seen as a new opportunity, okay? So that leads us on to stage 2, which is the middle of funnel content. So, you've got the eyeballs, you've got the audience, but now how do you actually convert them, right? This is where you build trust, you build a connection with the audience, and you get them familiar with you. And over time, they'll soon understand that you are the best person for the job if you're talking to one person every time you make a piece of content. So here's what people don't understand about earning a sale, right? They're too deep into being creators, and they struggle to convert leads because they don't have middle of funnel content. So if someone watches your top of funnel content and resonates, they need a next step, right? It needs to be clear about how they can go further into your ecosystem to get more value from you, to get closer to you. So middle of funnel content, right, is especially like IG stories, is where you build the emotional connection that makes them actually want to work with you. So, you've got the know, like, and trust factor, and you've got a clear direction for them to get more from you. So the way you want to structure your middle of funnel content, right, for maximum connection is a series of, personal storytelling, how I struggled with X before figured this out. You're relating to them. You're being the person who has gone through their struggles, who has come out the other end with a successful outcome. And now you're here trying to teach the same people how to get the same result, right? Relatable posts, behind the scenes coaching, struggles, client conversations. And then you've got this soft call to actions, which just guides them towards the next step, right? So polls, question boxes, DMs, all this stuff. But where people go wrong is they're too robotic, right? They're too value driven, and they think that's all it takes to actually get people into their coaching program. And they couldn't be any more wrong. So you need to understand that, this is a people's business. They pick the person, not the value. The value is everywhere. They can just Google it, ChatGPT. They can get the value very, very easily. But what they need is your authority, because you're essentially going to be keeping them accountable, and they need to relate to you. They need to know that you've gone through their struggles. So they pick the person, not the value. The value is everywhere, okay? That's just a single piece of the equation. If you want to build a real tribe of like-minded people, then you have to be able to open up, right? You have to know what your mission is, what your purpose is, and it needs to be very dialed in. You can't just be trying to please everyone, or you're going to end up pleasing no one, okay? I'm sure we've all heard the phrase before, but it's even as the coaching industry goes on, weeks, months, years, it's getting to the point where there's so many coaches out there that if you're just vague and generic and trying to please everyone, then that's just going to hurt your business, and you're never really going to be able to scale. What you need is one offer, one target audience, and you really need to double down on that. Really understand what your mission is, what your purpose is, and really go all in on that. So you need to get clear about it. You need to talk about it often. You need to drill in a particular narrative, and you need to be able to position yourself above everyone and everything else in the market that could potentially steal your clients. People will just go elsewhere, to someone who is more specialized to the outcome that they want. If you're not specialized, then you're going to really struggle, because you're not going to be able to charge premium prices. You're going to be working with a lot of clients, and you're not going to be making a lot of money. So I know money's not everything, but if you're looking to scale and help a lot of people, then you need to have a good business infrastructure so you actually have the opportunity to do that and actually help people. So stage 3, right, is the bottom of funnel content. So this is where you actually convert the leads into clients, making it a complete no-brainer decision, right? Handle everything. So by now, if they're actually at this stage, you've closed them emotionally, right? By this point, they align with your beliefs, they relate to your stories, and they look up to you as a leader. Okay, it's a brilliant foundation. But now you have to close their logical brain, which is like, on a practical level, how much of a return on investment are they going to be getting if they invest in you, right? It has to be very clear about how you're going to get them to the end result. So you need to make it blatantly clear about why you're the best option to get them the result that they desire the most. Now, this is very important because if you want to grab their attention, pre-sell them, you need to have their full attention, right? This never happens during one of their doom scrolling sessions on short form content, right? There's not enough watch time. There's too much stimulus, and you're never really going to get deep into someone's brain if you're only focusing on short form content. So obviously the frequency and volume of short form content does play a part, right? There is a compounding effect that slowly builds over time. But if you really want to turn strangers into clients fast with almost zero objections on calls, then you have to have a strategy for bottom of funnel content that really seals the deal. So something that no one is doing, right? And here's your competitive edge and what people say is a saturated market full of fitness coach clones, which it is, right? If you don't position yourself well. Bottom of funnel content, good bottom of funnel content will literally skyrocket your close rates, even if you 2 to 3x your prices, right? This has happened to so many coaches that I work with. Even if they are complete beginners, right? We raise their prices, we implement these systems, and everything just falls into place. Now, this is where long form, high value content comes into play. And it's a complete power move, to be honest. And it's leveraged as fuck. No one else is doing this. By the time someone reaches this stage, right, they already trust you. This means that, sales calls will feel effortless because they already see you as the solution. If you're using long form content, you're already going to have way more watch time, giving them way more value than anyone else that they've watched. Now, they just want to see in detail how you're going to get them to their dream state, right? They already like you. They already trust you. They're already emotionally bought in, but they just need to see how, right? Exactly, specifically, clearly how you're going to get them there. If you close them emotionally and then you make it blatantly clear to their logical brain about how you can get them there, then it's a complete no-brainer, right? But people miss out this part of the buyer journey, and that's why they get a lot of weird objections on calls. So they want to see in detail how you're going to get them there. If you do that, the return on investment couldn't be any more clear, and they will pay you money. They will make it work. They will get the money somehow, right? They will be 100% bought in, which is exactly the state you need them to be in by the time you get to the end of the sales call. So here's just an example of a client, 8-call closing streak, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now, just a little warning, right? This shit will literally fire up your ability to convert people. Some may even describe it as unethical, right? When compared to 99% of all the other fitness coaches out there who are not running this type of operation. Now, this is an 8-call closing streak on 3K fitness packages, which is just disgusting, right? That kind of close rate on high ticket fitness packages is crazy. And if you're only charging people like $200 to $300 per month, and your close rate isn't that good, like what the fuck are you doing, right? Something needs to change if you really want to scale up. Now, the bottom of funnel infrastructure that sells your program even months after posting, right, without lifting a finger, this is what I like to call the compounding interest, right? Compounding effort. And it's when you take a leveraged approach. You don't get this if you only focus on short form content. Short form content has a lifespan of like 3 days max, right? It gets a lot of views, it dies down, and then that's it. People forget about it and they move on. Now, after I made my first long form case study breakdown, and many of my clients as well, people were hopping on calls with me 6 months after I posted it, saying how much clarity that gave them. And trust me, it's a legit cheat code, right? If you have videos that completely encompass the whole transformation and how you actually go about it, so it makes sense and they see you as the authority, and they see your personality like not scripted, just talking them through it, it's just different, right? That's why you can have such a high close rate on like high ticket packages if you post videos like this. So there's a few different ones, right? You've got the deep value breakdowns. because with short form content, it's small snippets, it's little videos, right? They're not getting a lot of deep value out of it. So you're going to be posting very valuable breakdowns that are more in depth than anyone else in your niche, case studies about how you got the result for other people, and you're going to be directly solving their problems with long form assets and strengthening relationships. Because when you're in DMs talking to people and they tell you about problems that they're having, and you literally have videos that solve them problems, if they're going to be watching these 20-minute videos and you're literally solving their problems more than anyone else, then it's going to be an absolute no-brainer to go to you as the person to keep them accountable during this transformation, right? So while others are just posting surface level tips and tricks about exercise selection and recipes and why I ate in a day and shit like that, you're diving into result-driven topics that position you as the obvious choice, right? That literally, on a practical level, helps them move forward. So let's be honest here. People can get information online for free with, Google, ChatGPT. That is not what sells your coaching. So if that's all you're posting, you are just at a complete disadvantage and you have zero competitive edge. Now, this isn't just another content strategy. This is an entire system which is designed on a psychological level, right? Covering every single little element of what it takes to close them. And we're making sure that the content ecosystem encompasses everything that they need to move forward with you and to see you as the obvious choice. So, we're deep diving into who you need in your audience, right? Understanding on a deeper level where they are in their journey, right? If you're talking to too many different people in your content, like some beginners, some more experienced, if there's going to be a complete misalignment about who it is you're trying to target, and that is a big problem. So by understanding who and where they're at on their journey on this kind of level, right, you're only talking to those who are a perfect fit for your program, and then you can make your program around those people in particular instead of just being generic, cookie cutter, and trying to please everyone, right? It doesn't work. It's not scalable. So with this method, you can say goodbye to chasing uninterested leads, wasting money on ads to force people in front of you, destroying your authority with fucking free challenges out of desperation, and like all the other shit that you've been convinced on by, these business gurus who are running ads and shit. You need to build a strong foundation first. Then you can pour fuel on the fire. But most people, like a majority of people, are not at that level. So that's why they get sucked into these ad systems. That's why they don't work. That's why your profit margins are so low. That's why you're struggling with content, because you haven't mastered positioning. Now, this is how you position yourself as an attractor brand, where the clients literally come to you because they trust you more than anyone else. Imagine waking up to new DMs every week, right, from people who want to work with you. No chasing, no convincing, no weird objections on calls, no selling your souls. And this is exactly what we avoid with this system. So now that's all for this video. This invite is for action takers only, right? Everyone else, just stick to my free stuff. It's fine. If you actually want to escape this BS faster, right, with a results-driven roadmap tailored to you, book a call in the link in the description, and I will personally identify your biggest needle movers that will accelerate your growth. This isn't another group coaching program or community. Personally, I think that shit's a waste of time. We optimize for the end result fast with precision. It's one-to-one consulting only, and you have the opportunity to book a call. It's completely free. We'll map out your entire roadmap, and then we can go from there. So if you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.